Welcome back to a drama so sued. Even Harvey Specter subscribed. In today's video, it seems there's been a little bad signal for me over here. And when there's a bad signal, yours truly will have to respond. I've been tagged by my boy Kaz here, where we have a Saintontas video saying, "See you in court, MrPokke." Now, this came out of left field. I haven't heard about this. And I think the reason why we haven't heard about this must have been done offline. It was online on stream because Saint just likes to cover and make videos on stream because like you benefit a lot by doing things live with your audience. And like you hit two birds, one stone. He didn't do that. That's how he usually does it, but he didn't do it. He didn't do it this time, which tells me this is an offline video, which is smart, So if you want if you want to throw the V signal up in the sky, feel free to join our Discord and you could come here to Daily React. You can tag me in a video you want me to look at, and if we can cover it, we can cover it. So let's get into the video here. I'm curious now. I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to this particular situation, I'm with Saintontas. The reason why I'm with Saintontas is due to the approach MrPokke chose to tackle this. The spirit of what MrPokke is doing is very understandable, and I dare say some people would encourage MrPokke's spirit there, in the sense of you have someone that's taking advantage of defaming and throwing your name on dragging your name on the mud. You kind of have to stand on business there. Like, if anything, MrPokke could, like, you kind of forced. The only way, the reason why I used to say like MrPokke could have just keep leaving him on red like he was doing, is to try and find some level of cordial relationship in the future with Saint. It's like if we're all gonna be like this, to quote MrPokke, a happy family, quote unquote. As we all know now, even bloodline, I'm all over the place. Because as we all know, families is quite tricky. Even, people you're related to, is quite hard to be a family, even less so with strangers. But it's hard for people to, be close, but we can still remain cordial and remain professional towards one another. Like, for example, me and MrPokke, I'm not like the biggest fan. I don't have much respect for MrPokke due to some stereotypical behavior he exhibits. I don't respect that. I'm not gonna like him for that, for sure. But we can remain professional, we can remain cordial, and if anything, we can even take steps towards one another to work things out and maybe change each other's outlooks on each other, if that makes any sense. And I'm always open for that. And the problem is, I may be open to that, Saint not necessarily so, which is why this all happened in the first place. Because I do feel like MrPokke did try some approach, but there still was some ego there. Saint requires like a true non-ego type of apology slash approach for him to really just cool off and let bygones be bygones, which MrPokke could not do, which is why I was saying in the past is that MrPokke should have just, kind of took like, you just take the L completely. You shouldn't have called the man a Kuruba and try to make fun of the guy. And we all let bygones be bygones, but tough, because unfortunately you lose PR due to the incentive of winning and one-upping one is actually good for you in this space. Like, if you lose a drama or a beef, the drama goblins, the warriors, kind of leave your side. Like, the wolves leave your community, which is a bit of an L if what you really care about is the metrics, the numbers. So yeah, this is the explanation as to why. So all in all, for me, when it comes to this, I think the entire situation should not even happen in the first place. That's where I land personally. But since we are here now, sadly, unfortunately, I'm kind of with Saints on this one. I don't think MrPokke winning here sets a good precedent for us. Yeah, just if MrPokke could just take this back and make it defamation, we're all with MrPokke then. I'll be honest, I'm with MrPokke then. Yeah, that's right. He was shit talking you all that time, man. Yep, hey, go get him. Yep, sure, whatever. You're in your right to do that. So yeah, let's see what we have to say. So yeah, let's see what Saint is gonna update us on what's been going on. Because let's face it, we haven't heard about this in a while now. This is a bit of a revival to that particular topic.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has arrived. Yes, the update that you have all been
Wearing a suit with a hat is sure is different.
waiting for with bated breath on the ongoing copyright dispute, fair use, YouTube strikes regarding MrPokke and I. And I am happy to say that after some legal conversations have been ongoing over the past couple of weeks, really more so the past couple of months, we've got an update that you'll all probably find pretty satisfying as a whole. So without further ado, I prepared a nice little slideshow to christen the occasion, and we'll be walking
stuff is getting very serious when we have PowerPoint presentations for drama. So you have your notepad. We always have the legendary notepad. Now, the notepad has since evolved. We now have PowerPoint presentations, man. That's right.
Has occurred from then until now and explain some of the radio silence that you've been seeing recently. So first things first, we're going to court.
Well, yeah, you gotta let the legal system do its thing. The legal system can be slow.
And by court, I actually mean the CCB. And the CCB is basically a legal proceeding that we'll be going to instead of federal court to handle this copyright dispute, copyright and fair use dispute.
Okay.
First things first, though, we got to answer this question. How did we get here? Because
Ooh. Oh, Saints. Be careful here, man. Be very careful here, man.
a lot of people might be saying, legal action, something that could cost thousands of dollars, maybe tens of thousands of dollars, that seems a little bit too much, especially considering the scope. This is just a single YouTube video. Aren't you doing too much? Let's get some of the details straight first. So first things first, my video, The Tragic Downfall of MrPokke, was struck on February 12th by MrPokke. And the reason for that strike was, of course, copyright and violating fair use. Second, my lawyer filed a counter notification very shortly after the strike, detailing how the video was still within fair use and that the strike, well, it wasn't really something that was very legitimate. And then MrPokke made a response, legal action, by filing a claim with the CCB. So instead of blaming me or saying that I'm the person that is the reason for why this is all.
So he's not talking about like where this entire thing like originated like I did at the start of the video. He's actually talking about the development that led to the copyright. Okay.
Happening? Let's get this straight. MrPokke asked for all of this. Now from here, we got a bit of a situation, right? Why have there been no
that's a fair thing to say. Yeah, okay. MrPokke is the one that escalated it to legal, so sure.
updates? Is Saint scared? Has he been gagged by his lawyer? Is this something that he just really doesn't want to talk about because it's going badly for him? Well, I've got to correct some of that misinformation that's been floating around, right? So first things first.
I gotta admit, man, some people in the community must be left on red, bro. They must. Why are people saying that? It's like, dude, the legal system takes time. Like, relax, dude.
This case is a slam dunk for me and my team. And one of the reasons for that is, well, due to the fact that MrPokke made some objectively false statements in his initial CCB claim. You can actually see the highlighted line over here. Although the respondent seldomly pauses the playback to add commentary, the underlying visual content, whatever, remains intact, substantially unchanged. This is impossible to actually be true. And one of the reasons for that is I've got the length of the struck video.
I remember reading that line. The reason why I'm shaking my head is because I remember reading that line, and that indeed, that's so weird. That's so weird. Because like, if that's the case, then everybody should just strike everybody.
Hour and 22 minutes and 13 seconds. MrPokke's original video, which the struck video is a reaction, a critique commentary video towards, was 20 minutes and 41 seconds.
Well, I think they also said that there's defamation there. Not like critiquing, it's like blatant defamation. And if they can prove that, MrPokke's side got a chance. I think that's what's going to be happening. I think that's the only approach like on MrPokke's side, because like, you know, you're critiquing, but is it actually critiquing or just blatant defamation? Because I remember reading some of this stuff in MrPokke's thingy.
I don't know about you, but it requires probably more than a seldom pause to more than triple, really, it's quadruple the original video's length. The original video was 20 minutes and 41 seconds, and my react is 80 minutes. Really, it's 82 minutes and 13 seconds. That's basically 4 times the length. And naturally, that would require more than a seldom pause here and then to actually, well, have something like that happen. And so, naturally, you can probably see what's going on over here. The facts don't seem to match up with reality in this circumstance. Next up, though, we got this. It costs money, time, and of course, the mental state of everybody involved. This is a matter that's going to take quite a while, even through the CCB, to get sorted out. You still got to get all of the documents signed. You got to get things subpoenaed, so on and so forth. This is
the legal system is slow, bro. It is slow.
Isn't really something that's like touch and go. This isn't going to be resolved in just a couple of weeks or even a couple of months, if we're going to be honest. And it could take upwards of a year. That's a lot of commitment. And so naturally, we did our due diligence and approached a different type of conversation with MrPokke over the past couple of weeks. And that is regarding, well, you probably guessed it at this point based off of what I've been saying, settlement. We performed, me and my team, we performed our due diligence when it came to this conversation.
Yeah, that's what a lot of cases try to do. It's like good lawyers will always try to settle. It's like, why go to court when we can just fix this behind closed doors? It's just a smart approach.
And here are some of the details regarding what that proposed settlement offer that we have.
Because here's the thing, like, not only is it time, it's like he said, time, mental, and money. Like, the more this drags on, the more both sides just keep getting siphoned out of resources in all shapes and sizes. So it's like, let's just, all right, yeah, stuff got too real. Let's just sit down and really talk about it like grown ass people, which is what I'm hoping for, that in the settlement talks, both lawyers can sit down these internet brain rotted kids and fix this issue. It's like, okay, you said some stuff, he said some stuff. All right, let's just fix this. Jesus. All right, like, can we do that? We'd appreciate if we could. But then again, lawyers have a lot to gain from this feud keep going, because they make, that those resources are siphoned by the lawyers themselves. So it's like, you know what, they just might not do that. So I'm not gonna hope. Like, that's just me wishing for the best ending.
First things first, it would include a walk-away agreement where we basically both drop all of our claims against each other. There's no longer any sort of legal proceeding, so on and so forth. My video would go back up for a short duration of time, and we would end up, in some ways, both sides don't end up completely happy, but that's the nature of settlement, right?
That's good. That's good. I like that. Like, both sides don't take 100%, but we can take 50, like 60, 40. Like, it depends, depending on who's on the right and who's in the wrong. So, like, agreements can take different shapes and sizes. So I like that. I like that. And here's the thing, man. All we need is for both individuals to have the mindset to want to do that. Because some people, when they think they're right, they just want 100 or nothing. And there's not much talk to these people. And that annoys the heck out of me, which I think is kind of what's happening right here. So sadly, hopefully we can have this going on, and I'm hoping the lawyers can do their due diligence to make them consider this strongly, as is my hope.
Can't get everything you want, you gotta make some compromises. Next, though, we wouldn't be able to talk about the strike after a certain period of time. We wouldn't really even be able to talk about the issue at all. And this is a big sack.
I thought this was what was happening right now. That's what I thought. That's why everybody's been quiet. Either that, or there's haven't been much development because the legal system is slow. So I think it was number two. It was number one. They still can talk about this, but eventually will come a time where they can't.
Sacrifice that I was making in order to get this deal going. You see, like, I'm able to make compromises occasionally, and this was one of those occasions.
Yeah, he can. He can. Yeah. Shouts out the same for that, man. Yeah, sometimes, most of the time he can't. Sometimes he can. Yeah, but unfortunately, people can see. People will look at us from what the things we do majority of the time, and not sometimes, right? So tough.
Third was this: a mutual clause to not accuse the other of a crime. And this was a very, very, very big one for obviously both of us.
Because you just made a thumbnail doing exactly that. Jesus Christ, Saint.
MrPokke was, without a doubt, on the record making multiple thumbnails that pretty much just outlines me as a, well, you can see that big one over there, a racist, blackmail. There's a lot of stuff in there. It's a bit of a loaded one. And naturally, this was something that I was fully on board with.
That's an implication, by the way. Like, if you have the context, you know exactly this is just insinuating what the Saintontas has also been. Sorry, I don't know if insinuation is the right word, but basically, this is just a bunch of stuff that Saintontas himself has already said. Saint has already said all of these, or insinuated all of these, to be very specific, especially the insinuation part. So with that context in mind, this isn't as shocking, but for the uninitiated, this is shocking. Just like this, I don't know if he changed it or not. I hope he did. Let's see here. Yeah, for example, here we have Epstein calls CP, Child Protective Services. It's so over. And insinuating on the Gotcha Smack situation, which is in very poor taste. So I think this entire format of thumbnails should just be removed completely from the space, period, not just between these two.
It was a clause that was put in exchange for not putting in a different clause. And this clause over here is something called a non-disparagement agreement. That's something that MrPokke really wanted, though. And that's actually the reason why this settlement blew up. And so at the end...
So basically what happened was, MrPokke said, don't farm me anymore. Saint said, hell no, I'm going to keep farming you. You are too lucrative for me to drop. Yeah.
We wasted our money.
Wow. I want you to think about that for a second. Chad. Man. Okay, so from a business strategic perspective, for Saint as to why he won't accept that, he kind of have to keep doing this because, well, he has his community that hates MrPokke. He has a lot of wolves, right? And the wolves like to keep watching, the leader of the pack eat meat, right? They like to smell the beef and look at the beef. So like, you know, MrPokke is like the gift that keeps on giving to that particular community. So like Saint has to keep feeding them MrPokke in a way. So tough. And also it's kind of like censoring yourself in a way. It's like, what? I'm not gonna talk about you anymore, which can be tough. Because here's the thing: the problem with like legal terms can be vague, and unless like what they could have done is like, you can talk about me, but don't insult me. That would be fair. But then again, that's not what the drama goblin audience for Saintontas wants to see. Because here's the thing: a lot of people like to AOE the entire Saintontas community. That's not the case. Some people are still there because they like how Saint is well spoken, how he covers a lot of topics during the day. Like that, it's good. Like it's good content. It's like Saint is actually good for the space. It's just that the way in the mannerism and the way he's kind of starting to transform, because his Charizard now, I wasn't aware of that, and now he's trying to mega evolve, is that's kind of a little too much. Like, all right, that's too much fire for us, man. Like, if we could just turn down the heat, we'd appreciate it. Kind of like back in the day, it was acceptable for sure, but now it's gone way too far.
Had lawyers when it came to this settlement agreement. And every single minute, every single hour, right, that these lawyers spent negotiating back and forth about what to put
That's
in,
money.
what to take out, what's okay, what's not, should we change the wording here, should we change the wording there, that was all billed, ladies and gentlemen. That was all billed. And the
If you speak to a lawyer, legal advice, that's money. Like just talking to them, that's money.
settlement offer has blown up in both of our faces. Well, not really mine, because I'm not really
I mean, look, I can't shake the sentiment of me hearing this sounds so childish to me. I don't know why. It just sounds so childish to me. Like, really? You don't want to settle because you want to keep talking shit about each other online? You know what I mean? Like, I understand the incentive as to why, like I just explained. I understand the incentive. It's just like, dude, not everything is worth it.
too miffed about the settlement not necessarily going through because of, well, a couple of things that I'll tell you later. So think about it this way. All the time, all the resources, all the effort that was put into that agreement, absolutely meaningless. So let's talk about why this offer blew up.
Man, we didn't even get a giveaway, bro. That money could have literally been gone to the community. Man.
First things first, let's talk about that first clause, a non-disparagement clause. And if you're wondering what this is, I've got a bit of a definition here for you. A non-disparagement clause is a provision in an agreement that prohibits the involved parties from making any negative statements, remarks, or
any? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's too much. Like insults, sure. You know, character assassination, sure. Because that's what a lot of people look at Saint and draw the line there. But like shit talking the take and going against the take and just keep attacking the mindset of the take is fair game. That's fair game. But you know what I'm saying? It's a little it's a little too much there, man. Like, like I can't even talk about you negatively in any shape or form. Is censorship. At that point, it's censorship, and I kind of understand it. I do.
representations about each other. And these types of clauses are typically found in agreements like employment contracts, separation agreements, or marital settlement agreements, blah, blah, blah. And this seems to be one of those situations where Pokke and his team really wanted to slide one in. Let me remind you that this is a copyright situation, a copyright claim over free use.
Exactly. See, what the fuck is that doing there? Take that to freaking defamation. Use defamation. This is what defamation is. I like what Saint is doing here. That's a nice call out. That is a nice call out. And the lawyers thought they were slick, but they got caught.
For copyright infringement, not harassment, not defamation, not anything of those kinds. And the end result of putting a non-disparagement clause, something that doesn't allow us to talk about each other, critique each other, so on and so forth, in a copyright infringement case, that wasn't really something that made sense. And one of the big things that me and my team pushed for in this settlement agreement was not having one of these. Because of course, I don't think it's very legitimate. I don't think it's very sensical to have some sort of clause where we aren't able to talk about each other.
That's a power move. It's like when they feel like they have the upper hand, they can do shit like this. And unfortunately, because of how inconsistent the copyright strike department in the legal system can be, the striker has a huge advantage due to the very nature of this inconsistency. So they kind of have like the upper hand, or so they think. So they kind of wanted to slide that in.
Even if, of course, there is something that should be critiqued about whatever behavior on other side is actually occurring. And this is the other thing about this non-disparagement clause. It makes the criminal accusation clause, right? That part of the agreement where we would both agree not to accuse the other party of crimes, it's pointless because
because this just AOEs all of it.
You wouldn't be able to do that anyways under a non-disparagement clause.
Exactly.
So naturally, you can kind of see where the timeline was going over here. Pokke.
I agree with saying to criminal accusations is fair. Yeah, for both. Absolutely. We should not be insinuating crimes. Saint! especially Saints. We should not be doing this. But this feels like censorship. It feels controlling in a way. I don't know, man. If you know what, this is too much. Yeah, for sure. We can remove that. We can talk about it. But if Mr. Poke's team do not want to move from this, then simply move to defamation. Stop the strike. Stop taking advantage of a flawed system, and everything's good, man. This is that's what I'm talking about, man. Like the way Mr. Poke went about this is just, man. I just can't respect it, man. I understand why. I understand not only the why is like why you even considered it, but also like why you chose this approach, because it just gives you a certain position of power. You're taking advantage of a system. That's smart. I just don't respect it, though. I just don't respect it.
His team and my team had agreed to remove the non-disparagement clause from the agreement and then institute the don't accuse each other of crimes clause into the agreement instead, because what would be the point of even having that crime one when that topical area would already be covered by one of these?
Exactly.
This was a non-negotiable for me. I will not be silenced when it comes to criticism. I will not be silenced when it comes to lawful critique over copyright infringements, or really a copyright infringement case, or really an alleged copyright infringement case. And so, of course, that leads us into the next point. I've already kind of spoiled it a bit. What a non-disparagement clause actually does is, while it does silence illegal remarks, it also silences truthful, lawful criticism, such as me calling out Mr. Poke's behavior when it comes to games like Arknight's Enfield.
Yeah, that's negative. Like anything that can be portrayed as negative, yep, that falls under that too. Now, I hope you can see how that problematic this non-disparagement clause can be. It's quite the AOE there.
Really saying that the game is amazing, great, the best stuff ever, the best 1.0 experience ever, and then he proceeds to not play it for 3 months, right? Calling out the behavior of giving a game its laurels, making it seem like it's one of the best things ever, but then proceeding to not play it yourself. That would not be allowed under an agreement like this, and of course, I found that unacceptable as a creator that delves very deeply into critique content within the gacha space.
Yeah.
And fourth, over here, this is the big one. Agreeing to a settlement like this over a copyright strike, infringement, and allowing myself to be gagged and silenced, it would set a precedent.
I was thinking about it. I was even thinking about Mr. Poke could literally start doing this to anybody that disagrees with him in any shape or form. Like anybody critiquing him, like he can just do that. Oh, we got precedent over here. It's just bad. Like it makes the whole space like a field of eggshells where we have to walk in. It's super cringe. It's super weird. It's super beta. It's just this beta cuck stuff. Like I don't know, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think the way and what Mr. Poke wants is like to just leave me alone, shut the hell up completely, is a step too far. This is the nature of the space. If you don't like it, move to someplace else. But here's what's funny. No matter the space you go to in the internet, this is going to happen. Maybe not to the same degree as Saints, because Saints can be, Saints. But this happens. Critiquing happens. Commentary happens, like myself. I'm a commenter, right? This is what's going on. This is what's happening. And I think Mr. Poke should come to the realization to that. And like this degree of censorship is just pathetic, in my opinion. It's just pathetic. I don't know. It's such beta shit.
That copyright strikes can be used to silence criticism across the space. Not just the gacha space, but the content creation space as a whole.
Yeah, it's a commentary. Like, for example, me, I'm a commentator. A lot of people try to because I finally found the term, because like I used to think like journalism and stuff. Not necessarily. I'm a commentator, which is kind of like what journalists do. Like we just look at things, kind of what Saint does, and everybody we comment on things, right? I'm a commentator, and as a commentator, I have to give my takes on things. With this precedent, I don't know about you, but for anybody in the commentator section is in trouble. What's next? Companies are going to start doing that? Oh, you said this about Genshin Impact. Strike. Come on now.
So let's go ahead and get into why that is such a bad thing. All right, so why would this be bad? Silencing criticism. Think about critical creators. An example over here of a critical creator who makes content on other
commentator, to be specific. I don't think critical creators make sense, but they're commentators, yeah.
Individuals, when they proceed to, make a bit of a boo-boo online, is more Pegasus. This is the type of creator that would be at most risk if a precedent.
Oh, I get it now. So he called them critiques because they just typically call out negative type of behavior. Sure. I still prefer commentator. It feels more true to the term because sometimes they do be covering good stuff. Rarely, but that's there.
Like this were to be able to get through. Imagine if you used a clip, right? Or you reacted to a portion of somebody's stream where they happened to do something that was really abhorrent, really bad. Maybe something like electroshock therapying their dog live on stream because they wouldn't, you kind of get what's going on, right? Imagine if somebody like Hassan were to go ahead and simply copyright strike MrPokke and then bully them in the legal system, the YouTube DMCA system, until they signed a non-disparagement agreement through settlement just because they want to get it over with. And then from there, MrPokke is no longer allowed to talk about Hassan anymore. And then, of course, this guy's able to get off scot-free doing whatever he wants with whatever remote devices anywhere in, when it comes to taking care of his pets, right? That would result in him being legally banned from critiquing creators who actually deserve it. And now you can also think about it this way. This means that by rejecting this settlement offer, not negotiating with it at all, and moving forward from here, we're defending critics everywhere, not just critics within the gacha space. And
shouts out to Saint for using the one picture that Tectone hates people use.
I thought Tectone was an appropriate guy to put in over here because he's like, well, he's a perfect example of somebody that's no longer in the gacha space and is, of course, still a massive critic. So now, moving forward, right, settlement is off the table. And these are the
It didn't work, Chad. My hopes did not work. I seriously thought they were gonna settle this. That was my hopes, to be honest with you, man. I seriously thought like the lawyers were just gonna sit down these grown ass children and fix this shit. Well, tough.
Options that exist for MrPokke when it comes to resolving this issue. The first,
I guess Poke turned out to be the bigger child, unfortunately. Tough. Imagine out immaturing Saint. Imagine that, man. It's like you're not gonna get your way. That's not how life works. You don't always get your way in life. Damn.
first one is, Pokke just goes ahead and retracts his claim. That would result in me reporting that to YouTube. My video goes back up. Who knows what sort of consequences would be available for him for, basically extending this entire situation, demonetizing, or really not allowing me to monetize that video, so on and so forth. A lot of potential things to think about with this option. The second one is, we proceed to litigation. And that's where I think this one will go. However, it does really seem like Pokke and his team are dragging their feet. And that's actually one of the reasons why I'm making this video, because we have asked for certain documents. We have asked for certain waivers so that we can begin this proceeding, and they just won't give it to us. And third, this is something that's likely going to happen after B.
You have to subpoena them. I think you have to subpoena them because, like, why would I give it to you and give you an edge? Like, I don't have to. But then again, I think you have to, because if I remember, like, it's called discovery. It's like you have to share that stuff, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not the biggest. Like, I'm just, this is not, take this with a huge grain of salt, all right? Like, I just know some stuff, but I'm not sure exactly how the proceedings go. I never had an issue, a legal issue, especially in America. So, like, okay, huge grain of salt here. But I think there's something called discovery, where both sides have to share, like, certain information with each other, and both sides prepare their arguments as to why they should get their way. But if they don't want to share it with you in discovery, or they hide it, it can be considered shady. And if you know they have it, they don't want to share it, you kind of have to subpoena it. And if you subpoena it, that's it. Like, they are legally bound and enforced to give you that particular piece of documentation or information, whatever you want to call it.
We settle during litigation. And this is the thing. If we have a settlement after litigation has started, like I said before, the original settlement is off the table. Those terms that we were talking about, they will look nothing like the new ones. I can guarantee that. So moving forward, these are the three options that Pokke has available. C is really just to build off of B, so it's really just two.
Yeah, we settle during litigation is gonna happen. Yeah, that might happen. Hopefully MrPokke can wake up and go, you know what, fine, we just want to insult each other, and feel free to talk shit about what I think about video games that sell anime girls, sure, whatever. Don't go too far about it. That's all we care about. I'll be honest, man, I feel like the entire community can fall behind that one. Unless, like, you're this sensitive MrPokke fan. Like, besides those people, I think most people are gonna look at that and go, you know what, that's fair. Yeah, shut the hell up, saying don't go all that, don't cross those lines, because we all be looking at each other going, what the fuck is this guy talking? What is he saying? But feel free to talk shit about bad takes that are not pro-consumer, etc., etc. But make sure you don't, there's a certain line. Respect that.
All right, what is the CCB? So first things first, the CCB is the Copyright Claims Board. It is an alternative to federal court that's streamlined.
I don't know why it reminds me of the CCP, man. Like, every time I hear CC something, I just think of the CCP, man.
Streamlined, cheaper, and faster. However, it's still goddamn expensive. Yeah, it can cost upwards of like tens of thousands to potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars, but not really close to the potential millions that would be involved in something that goes to federal court. Second, the CCB is led by copyright experts. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, individuals who know this stuff like the back of their hands because they've got decades of experience engaging with fair use, applying it, and of course, having some judgments made on it. And third, it's going to be able to give us a definitive judgment. Did MrPokke abuse the YouTube copyright strike system to take my video down? Or through my 1 hour and 22-minute reaction to his 20-minute video, did I violate fair use?
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, definitive judgment is something I don't think MrPokke wants to see. But then again, it's a 50-50. It's like that's literally like a banner. That's like we just reach pity there, and like we need to see if we win the 50-50 or not for both sides. So that's what I heard on how this court system works when it comes to the CCB. So I don't think we want to roll there, because we're not talking about free ass rights or free primo gems you have laying around. No. You're talking about real money and stuff. So tough. And not only that, man, not only that, the reputation. Like if you were to lose this, like for both, you're risking so much PR. Like you can get all the PR or you're losing all the PR. Like for example, MrPokke, if you were to lose, that's it. That's it. Like you're just this pissed off whatever, like a beta ass, you know what I'm saying? Like you just get cucked, bro. But then if Saint loses, like that's it. You are exposed as this toxic piece of garbage, you know what I mean? And if you win, oh, MrPokke, oh my God, you got him, man. Yeah, that's right. Get him. And Saintontas, oh yeah, get him, protect free speech and all that. Like, why risk all that when you can literally just settle? Why? That doesn't make it. Like, they're literally rolling the dice. It's crazy.
This isn't like having like some random judge that may or may not actually be well-versed in copyright law proceeding over the case. No, like I said before, these are experts in their field, and they'll probably be able to give the most accurate judgment possible. Now, moving forward, let's talk about the legal side, right? Let's talk about the representative side. As you can probably see over here, I am going to be represented by the lawyer of H3H3.
Okay, so he's saying that again. I thought like he just did the draft for him and then dipped out, but maybe in Judgment Day he's gonna be there. Could be.
That's who I'm
Because
going.
like I heard people say that no, that's not the case. You know, he just drafted the counter notification and dipped out there. Like he's not doing this anymore. Is what I heard, but could not be the case here. It's like he said he's still there. So
to have on my side, talking through all of my arguments in court. MrPokke, on the other hand, well,
I don't think it matters, by the way. I think this is just like this weird flex move. It's like, so what? Yeah, H3H3 is proving himself to be good. Sure, it's like if you want to create some level of this is the team to be, because like we have a star player over here, sure, whatever, but it's like doesn't really matter.
The facts about MrPokke's CCB claim, and of course his side of the proceeding. As far as I'm aware, there could have been some updates made, but this is the information that I am aware of as of now. MrPokke is representing himself. He did not list his lawyer or anybody from his legal team on the official CCB documents. So
yeah, I think he is representing himself 100%. He just needed someone to help him draft this stuff, but he's representing himself.
There's a lot of reasons for why he could be doing this, but the main one out there is likely to save on legal fees. I think that's the main headcanon right now.
Which is smart. He can remain this annoying fly in your ear without spending as much money and keep taking advantage of a flawed system doing so. Smart, if anything.
At least for me. You're free to come up with whatever thing you'd like. Second, he also made objectively false statements in his initial CCB claim. We already saw a shining example of that over there by saying that I seldomly paused during my 1 hour and 22-minute react to his 20-minute video, and that's one of the big reasons for why it violated fair use. You get what's going on there, right? And third, he could be responsible due to a gross misrepresentation of the actual facts in his claim. There's a good chance he could be responsible for paying me legal fees if judgment is found to be in my
favorable to you.
You remember what I said before about Pokke and his team kind of like dragging their feet?
Now what happened with Tectone? Like when he lost, they told him he has to pay the legal fees for the opposition. It's the way it goes.
Really pushing for settlement, but then also try to slide in the non-disparagement agreement at the same time. I would almost describe that as really.
You'd be lucky if even, because what can happen is not only are you going to pay for their legal fees, but you also have to pay for damages because you drag their name in, through the mud during this entire procedure. So pay up. That could happen too.
Really wanting to have your cake and eat it too, and unfortunately, it's resulted in the settlement just being completely off the table, and so now we're pushing
He's so right on this one. He's so right on this one. Yeah, you want your cake and eat it. Just settle there, Pokey. Just for crying out loud. Okay, just don't insult me and all that. That's it. Like critiquing is fair game, man. Like I don't know why MrPokke wants to do this so bad. Like to this extreme. Damn.
Litigation. But even in that case, yeah, they're taking a really long time to get us the forms. So please, like, send them over to us. Now, there's some more fun facts because of course I know the audience loves those. When it comes to MrPokke, he's a guy from Singapore. He's got
I gotta play the clip, man. I'm sorry.
a really long time to get us the forms. So please, like, send them over to us. Now, there's some more fun facts.
Fun
Of course, I know
fact.
the audience loves those. When it comes to MrPokke, he's a guy from Singapore.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Hey, kanina this fucking uncle want to talk about Singapore. I got fucking problem with my accent of my country. Lim Pei happily minding my own fucking business. This one will be a condescending towards my entire country. My friend call him a dog, right?
Lean very heavily, man.
Ted don't also call him a dog, right? Right, Ted also say he's a fucking dog, right? How? Why so pressed? PMS. He called you a good boy, want me to feel trees or not? Kanina, your fucking asshole so jealous of the amount of shit coming out from your mouth every other day. There's nothing fucking right in your left brain, nothing fucking left in your right brain, and you still want to pretend you got a brain. You fucking want to go after my country, insinuate other people is like what, call them pedophiles, and then you cry that you got marriage reporter. Kanina, who's fucking fault? Your parents never teach you manners, huh? Absolutely embarrassing. You know what? You want to fucking post the fucking podcast, right? Absolutely. You know what's embarrassing, huh? Your performance in the hologram tournament cheating. 30-minute head start practicing and you still fucking lost it. Don't fucking talk about my country, no. Kanina kunde.
That's right. That's right. I don't think this was smart from Saintontas' side to call him a guy from single. This is a joke. This is just a meme. Look, that crash out is still in my top 5 in terms of crash outs.
He's got no experience with the American legal justice system, or at least as far as I'm concerned, he has no experience. If he did, I would be shocked, and I would also ask the question of how the hell would he even have that? As a guy from Singapore, a Singapore national that isn't well versed in US copyright law, I do think it is a decision to represent yourself in this case, even if the goal is to save money. Most would say that probably won't give you the highest chance of victory, but maybe he's got something up his sleeve. Second,
who knows?
My lawyer, H3H3's lawyer, is one that has litigated some landmark fair use cases. You can see Hilla and Ethan Klein over here, and as you're all aware, they had that very, very, very interesting case versus Matt Haas, where Matt Haas kind of did, the same sort of motion, the copyright strikey into the take the video downy, and then they filed the counter notification, and then he took him to courty. He lost, and let's just say his career.
Oh, they went all the way there. Damn, that was not smart.
Has never really recovered since.
I think we can all understand why that happened. So yeah.
And third, well, I've got some good news and some good updates over here. I've got an Oiler, right? This is just a bit of a Twitch excerpt chat from that Oiler over here. Feet Supremacy. You have my email from Streamlabs, right? Email me. Let's go full lawyer. Try to counter his stuff. Could you confirm if you have my email? Let's go full lawyer. And I can confirm as of this date, knowing that we're going to litigation and knowing that.
Shouts out to my man, Feet Supremacy, man. Seriously. That's a G right here. That's a G. He's got his people's back. 1,000,000%. Look, it doesn't matter. It's like if MrPokke has Oilers too, shouts out to those Oilers too. Like they are this dedicated to their team. I respect the hell out of that stuff, man. I do. Like when you have like this is your place and you support it all the way, man. Huge shout out to them. Like mass respect, man. Mass respect.
There's been some developments over here. Feet Supremacy has come through, ladies and gentlemen, and so we are fully stocked. We are ready to go, and this legal battle is ready to begin. We just need the forms from MrPokke, and this is going to be the funniest thing. This is probably going to be the most bitter pill to swallow for anyone wishing for my potential downfall.
That I think that's the biggest flex he said this entire time. That's more so than the Ethan Klein lawyer and all that. Like that's a star player. Like of course it increases your chances of winning. Like that matters, of course. Like to me, it's just like a useless flex. It's like ultimately it's up to the judge and all that. It's like it is what it is. Like it's still like maybe like it ups your chances to like 70%, but you still have like a whole 30%. You have to hope it doesn't roll there. But like you having like people that are genuinely having your back and are willing to go all the way with you, even in your legal battles, like huge shout out to that. Like that is a huge flex to me personally, considering I truly value the power of friendship and everything. That's my shit. Look, that's my shit. That's my shit. If I was Saint, I'd probably be flexing too.
My strike, as I mentioned before, was received on February 12th, 2026. God damn, that was a while ago.
Oh, that expires soon. Even if that stops, like in May 13, like it's over.
It is now April 23rd, 2026.
Like almost 3 weeks.
Over here, this strike is already set to expire by May 13th, once copyright school is completed, this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen, based off of what I've said before and based off the knowledge of how the CCB operates and the amount of time that it takes, my strike will resolve and fall off by the time this matter is in litigation. And so essentially, there will be no potential further harm done to my channel because the strike will already be removed. However, this matter is going to keep on going. And the penalties when it comes to what MrPokke can potentially face if judgment is found in my favor for falsely filing a copyright strike against me, well, think about it this way, ladies and gentlemen, that is still there. And remember this. MrPokke got numerous opportunities to back out of this, right? He had numerous opportunities. After striking me, he could have just retracted the strike on his own. After receiving the counter notification...
Yeah, he even flexed like about the button and everything.
And he could have just chose not to respond to it. But instead, he decided to push the matter at every single opportunity. And remember, he's the individual that decided to file this strike in the first place. He asked for all of this. And so, MrPokke, because you asked for all of this, you asked for this to go this far, let me ask something from you. MrPokke, please stop stalling. We have asked you multiple times. Let's go to litigation. Can you please send us the waivers necessary so that we can sign them and have these proceedings begin? Send us that waiver that we've been asking for. Let's begin litigation. That's the ask. Because MrPokke,
this reminds me of, like, remember in school when two people were beefing? They're like, I'm outside, I'm waiting for you. Come outside. Let's settle this now. In the playground. Remember that? Yeah, that's literally what's happening. Like, Saint is saying that, hey, I'm down here. I'm waiting on you. Come down. Let's do this. You were talking all that good stuff, right? Well, here I am. That's literally what's happening.
You and your team have been dragging your feet. And it leads me to believe that you don't actually want to go to litigation. But since your settlement offer really focused on that non-disparagement agreement, that aim to silence me, silence criticism, and of course set a precedent across the space that copyright strikes, which are based off of infringement, can suddenly be used to silence critique, that's something that we will not accept. That's something that cannot happen. And that's the big reason for why I am making this video. Because we've had many opportunities, right? Many discussions about not having it get to this point. But like I said before, you're the individual who's decided to push this by striking me in the first place, by responding to the counter notification of the CCB claim. And then after the claim was filed, you insist on weaponizing that CCB claim to try to push for a gag non-disparagement agreement in settlement so that you can stop being critiqued for your gotcha game takes. That's not going to happen because this case over here, this discussion, it's a true danger to not just the gotcha space, but the content space as a whole.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stand my ground, obviously, with the support of a very, very, very helpful oiler. I'm going to stand my ground, and we're going to take this all the way. So please, stop stalling and send the waiver.
Well, this, I guess this is happening, man. I guess this is happening. I think, more importantly, we're going to have to wait for MrPokke's response as well to fully see the full picture, because Saints could have this perspective. Maybe that's what he thinks is going on, but we don't know what's happening in MrPokke. So we're going to have to wait and see what's going on there too, so that we can place our bets in which team has the highest chance to win a weird-ass copyright case. Blah. But anyway, I'll be honest, I feel like Saint is sitting strong. But then again, who the hell is not going to say they're not going to be sitting strong? So like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, of course, everybody's going to paint their side as to the one to be the most advantages, the one that has the most advantage, the one that's like sitting pretty and is going to win this and all that. Like, that's typically how people are going to go about presenting themselves when it comes to situations like this. So, yeah, I guess we're going to have to wait and see what happens. I'm still in the settlement part. I think MrPokke could just go back to the settlement table and go, you know what? I'd like to take you up on that offer. It's just, all right, don't shit talk me to that extent. Also won't shit talk you to any bad extent. Like, we all have certain lines to respect, which are just proper mannerism. Really, it's not like, it's literally just listening to what your parents are telling you to do. It's like, just have proper manners towards one another, especially Saints, to have proper mannerism towards MrPokke, or pretty much lots of people in the space, really. And yeah, everybody can just keep doing their thing. It's the byproduct of the environment we're in. This is the type of critiquing it's in the environment we're in, which is the internet. And especially if you're a creator and a public figure, that's going to happen. So yeah, it is what it is. I hope this gets settled so that we can just keep it in the rear view mirror and just go back to the real problem and matters that are important to us, which is video games that tell anime girls. So yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Be seeing you.